If you've ever felt like the achievement of the most important goals that you have in your life is just impossible for you to achieve, then this is the video for you. When I started out on this personal growth and entrepreneurship journey, I was below rock bottom. My physical health, from autoimmune disease to digestive illness, my mental health with just horribly limiting thoughts and terrible negative self-talk, to my spiritual health and my connection to myself, others, God, my spouse, my children, nature, and all these other things. I was an absolute mess, and I had no idea what I wanted to build, who I wanted to build it for, and why I was building it in the first place, along with how I was going to build it and the beliefs that I could actually build it in the first place. And I wanted to just talk openly with you today on YouTube about this whole idea of being worthy to achieve the goals that you have in life. This is a common theme that you've seen in other videos on my YouTube channel. And so this is not going to be anything completely new. And if you're finding this video for the first time, you are likely someone who is already an entrepreneur or on the path of creating more freedom in your life financially, from a business perspective, and on the journey of growing and evolving as an individual. And so today's video is really about the conviction that it requires to build the life that you want. And an understanding that once you have conviction, you are actually positioned to do anything that you want in this life. When I look at the word conviction, and I put it as part of my creation equation, which there's a video coming in the future, make sure that you subscribe for that video on the entire creation equation. But zeroing in on conviction, the topic of today's video, and the beliefs that you must have to achieve that which you want to achieve. I look at conviction as a two-part variable. The first part is alignment. Alignment. So grab a piece of paper, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and let's talk a little bit about alignment. Okay, so when you are creating anything in your life or you're trying to achieve a particular goal, while I try to set up this camera, it looks like I'm in a dungeon because I pretty much am. When you're trying to achieve a goal and you have clarity on what that goal is, the next hurdle that you come up against is the hurdle of conviction. And the first piece of this conviction is alignment. And so what do I mean by alignment? When you are building something in your life, there's this little voice inside you that tells you whether or not you're building the right thing. It's a voice that you can't really quantify or explain to anybody else. Sometimes it's not even really a voice so much as it is a feeling. But nevertheless, you have a voice inside you that speaks to the true alignment with your inner values and with your inner vision. And that is the first piece of conviction, is having convictions in the first place, having values, having things that you believe in, and then ensuring that what you're trying to create, the business you're trying to build, the goals that you're setting for yourself, ensuring that they are actually in alignment with the values that you have, with the values that you want to espouse as an individual. They could be values like strength, values like courage, or virtues like love and wisdom and self-control and temperance. When you establish values and then you line them up with the goals that you're setting, you create a synergy in which what you're creating is in alignment with what you should be creating, and that fuels your ability to actually create what you want. The second piece of conviction, getting away from alignment, is belief, right? So the way I look at this is conviction is about doing the right things and believing that it will work. So setting the right goals that are in alignment with who you really are by doing the work of discovering who you are, which we'll talk about values and vision in later videos on this channel, but discovering who you are, being clear on who you are, and then aligning your goals with that clarity is the first step of establishing conviction. The second step, of course, is beliefs, faith, actually believing that you can achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And there's a basic process that I like to go through. I call it belief busting, that helps you to analyze what the beliefs are about the thing that you want to achieve that are holding you back, and then helps you install new beliefs into your life that will bring you closer to the achievement of your goals, because you are no longer, and your mind and self-talk are no longer in the way of you achieving those goals. Because you see, many cases, the goals that you have to achieve You don't really need to add things so much as you need to remove things that are holding you back. And limiting beliefs are that second piece of convictions that hold you back. And so this belief busting exercise is really simple. First, when you think about the goal that you have to achieve and you align it with your values, you then ask yourself, what beliefs do I have about myself, about others, and about the world in general that are holding me back from achieving this goal? And a little bit of reflection and journaling is required here, because you have to do the work of asking yourself questions like, why don't I believe that this is possible for me? Who told me that this wasn't possible for me? Where are the blockages that I see in my own mindset? Catalog your own thoughts and think about the things that you think about, right? They say that like 80% of the thousands of thoughts that we have every day are recurring ruminant thoughts. What are those thoughts? Are they thoughts like, I can't do this, I'm never going to be good enough, I'm not smart enough? Identify what those beliefs are that are holding you back. That's the first step of the belief busting exercise. The second step is to look for evidence that that belief is not true. So you take that belief and you start to catalog things you've done or accomplished or things that people have said to you in your life that would run in exact counter to that belief. So if your belief is, I'm not worthy of making money, was there a time that somebody paid you for something and said, thank you for the service that you provided? This was so worth the money that I invested. There's evidence that that belief is not true. If it's a belief about your relationships, have you ever been in a relationship where someone did value you? Have you ever done something for somebody else that was truly valuable and shown up for them? Write that piece of evidence down so you can start to build a book, a catalog of evidence that the belief that you had that was limiting you is actually not that true. The third step in the belief busting process is to then take that old belief and flip it on its head and rewrite a new belief that is more empowering and that is attached with the evidence that you gathered from the previous step. So if you said, I'm not good enough to make enough money because I don't provide enough value to people. But then you went and you reminded yourself of all the clients and customers who have thanked you in the past for the value that you provided, or the big wins that you've had, or the revenue that you've generated in the business, or the fact that you quit your full-time job to pursue your business and you've actually been able to keep the lights on. Whatever that evidence is that shows that that belief is not true, even though you believe that it is continuously because it's just a program that's running over and over in your head. You catalog that belief and then that evidence, and then we take that and add it to our flipped belief. So if the belief was, I'm not valuable enough to earn the income that I want to earn, then we take that, we flip it, and we say, I am worthy to earn the income that I desire because Craig told me X, and John told me Y, and Mike told me ABC, whatever it is, or I did this, I did that, whatever that belief is. Or whatever that evidence is, And then you take that and you append it to the end of this new, more empowering belief. So it could look like, I am worthy to earn the income that I desire because these people have told me these things. So once you've created that new empowering belief, now it's time to install it. And we'll do videos in the future on neuroplasticity and autosuggestion and how to reprogram your subconscious. But a very simple exercise is to write this down by hand on paper, and every morning and every night, read it multiple times to yourself right before you go to bed and right when you wake up. I know it sounds woo-woo. I know it sounds crazy, but your mind is malleable at these times of the day. Your subconscious, the door to the subconscious is more open than it is during your regular waking hours, and you're creating an opportunity to reprogram your subconscious beliefs that run your behaviors. It's not woo-woo, it's simple science. If you can reprogram the way that your mind operates and you can believe different things, you're going to act in harmony with that different level of clarity, right? And so zooming back out, this video is about creating conviction, creating the beliefs that allow you to actually execute on what you want and get what you want in your life. And I know this because I have done this wrong and I have done this right. And this is the process that has worked for me. I catalog what it is that's holding me back and as relates to my limiting beliefs. I look for evidence that shows that belief's not true. I rework that into an empowering belief that adds the evidence to it. And then I do the work of repeating that thought and that truth to myself with feeling multiple times every day. I even have one of my goals as my wallpaper on my, you can't really see it, but as my wallpaper on my phone to continue to remind me of the things that I want to be convicted of. If you run through this process with any area of your life where you're currently self-sabotaging, you're stalled, you're paralyzed, or you're just not making as much progress as you would like in the business or in the personal world, this process and this formula is going to help you go further. If you want to zoom out even more and think about how conviction plays into the creation of your ideals, I am also releasing a video called The Creation Equation that runs through the full formulaic equation that helps you to create anything that you want in your life. That equation at the highest level is clarity plus conviction plus consistency plus community equals creation. And today we're talking mostly about conviction. And so again, to recap the video, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling like you don't believe in your goals or that your goals are not possible for you, go through the process of identifying where you are out of alignment with your values, and then go through the process of finding out where you're out of alignment with your vision. And once that's done, do the work to identify and reverse and then reinstall, instead of limiting beliefs, positive and empowering beliefs that will help to carry you forward. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment below what your thoughts are. Any questions or concerns or anything like that that I can help you with, I will respond in the comments and help you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content on holistic entrepreneurship. And if you want to sign up for a meeting with me or to get on my newsletter, just go to markkudla.com and the options will be there for you to do that. Thank you so much for your time today. Agapě, I'm MC. Peace.